The Rebel 33cc Bandit motorized scooter was purchased for around $150 at Canadian Tire. They don't sell it anymore. I don't think the company's in business anymore, and it's pretty much impossible to find parts. I tried to find some parts on this website called ordertree.com, which, if you know, is a vendor for things like, outdoor motorized lawn equipment like lawn tractors, lawn mowers, whippersnippers, things like that. And I was able to get parts from there for a little while, after a year after they stopped selling the bike, but after that they didn't carry anything. So things that I got were new screws that mount the engine onto its 4-bracket mounting area, because those were lost. They jiggled out over time. In fact, that engine mount, the weld broke and it fell right off. So I was using like haywire and duct tape and stuff to keep the engine in place. Worked for a little while until you hit a bump. And other engine mount holes were completely stripped. And actually some screws broke off in there. Other parts I had to replace, well, the priming bulb was cracked. So that's why I stopped working on the scooter, because you can't really find another priming bulb for this bike. And they're not really universal. The engine there, had to get a new pull cord because the spring broke. I was able to fix it if I took it apart and fix the spring on that, but no, it didn't work in the end. So I had to order a new one from Ordertree. Had to replace the plug, of course, but you could pretty much expect that with any old cheap plug that comes with any old cheap bike. The engine seized at one point. I brought it to the mechanic. He said there's nothing you could do. So I took it home. I opened up the engine, took a hammer to the flywheel, and I budged that and then unseized everything. And after that, just last summer, I was able to get the engine idling for an infinite amount of time, and I tuned it up so it'll idle properly, and the clutch was set properly, centrifugal clutch. And then I couldn't mount the engine, so that was a big waste of time. So again, it's 2-stroke, 25-to-1 oil-gas mixture. Pretty much the only controls we had up here were the throttle, which I guess appears to be seized in the cable, and the kill switch, 2 brakes. Top speed maxed out at around 20 or 25 kilometers an hour, depending on, where you have your idle zone and your mixture switch, but So yeah, it's been sitting out underneath the snow all winter, so it's completely done. The only thing I'm going to be able to salvage are probably the brakes, or not the brakes, but the brake discs and the wheels. Cables are pretty much probably all seized up. Could use this floorboard for something neat. The shock still works, kind of. Of course, the engine's done. I still have the spark plug. I took that out for the winter. Carburetor's there. I had to clean the carburetor a couple times, that's true. Start of every winter. But other than that, there she is in her entirety. It was pretty fun. You could pull it up if you stood up here and pulled up on the handlebars and floored it. And I was able to do that a little bit before it broke. But yeah, there she is. It's too bad I couldn't get her going again. Just because of those darn engine mounts in the end is the problem. Couldn't keep the engine on, therefore the chain fell off. Tried distancing the tire and same thing. I was down to around 1 or 2 engine mounts out of those 4 brackets back there.